I'm standing in my kitchen, one of my favorite rooms in my whole house. I absolutely love to cook and experiment with new recipes. Food is a great way that individuals and countries can express themselves. I'm sure we all have our favorite types of cuisine. Personally, I love Italian and Japanese cooking, but you may be partial to Chinese, Mexican, French, Thai, and any other number of different cuisines. Each of these different cuisines has something in common despite how different they may seem. Each of them is used to provide fuel to our bodies. This is done in the form of calories. Just like a car relies on fuel made up of hydrocarbons to burn in order to move properly, so too do our bodies need a fuel of hydrocarbon derivatives in order to function properly as well. Thankfully, food provides us with a varied and delicious way of doing this.
Okay, so these are some words you've probably heard before. They're called the macronutrients. They consist of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. And each of these provide energy for our bodies in different amounts. You'll see right here that fats provide 9 calories per gram, carbohydrates 4 calories per gram, and proteins also 4 calories per gram. So as you can see, fats contain twice as many calories per gram of weight. So they tend to, foods with a lot of fats tend to have a lot more calories. So what is a calorie? A calorie, as we define it in food science, contains a capital C, and it's the amount of energy needed to heat 1,000 grams of water, or about a liter of water, 1 degree Celsius. And so that's enough to bring a whole liter of water, 1 calorie, 1 degree Celsius. So 100 calories is a whole liter of water, bringing from ice to a rolling boil. So that's quite a bit of energy. So it makes you wonder why our bodies need so much energy. Well, our bodies are very inefficient machines. Our hearts and our brains, even our blood, requires a lot of energy to function properly. And our bodies need to maintain a very high temperature, almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And so a lot of that energy goes to just keeping our bodies warm. So how much energy do we really need? How many calories do we really need? Well, a big reason why a lot of people have trouble maintaining their weight is because they eat a lot more calories than they really need to. And our bodies store excess calories as fat. And so growing adolescents probably don't need more than 2,200 to 2,800 calories per day. And of course that can be changed with doctors' recommendations. The rest that they eat besides that are stored as fat. And so it's important to not overeat and eat as many calories as are healthy. So let's go over some different dishes and how we can get 200 calories worth of food from different foods.
You've undoubtedly heard of individuals who count calories in order to maintain their weight, and that's a very good strategy to adopt. But it is important to remember that not all foods are created equal, and that some foods are very calorically dense, meaning that they have a lot of calories in a small amount of food, whereas other foods are very calorically sparse, meaning just the opposite. They have very few calories in the same amount of food. So what I've done now is I've collected some samples of what 200 calories of specific foods look like, so you can get an idea of what are some very calorically sparse and very calorically dense foods. I did that with a simple kitchen scale by measuring the weight of the foods and then calculating how many calories per gram of the food are in it. So to start, here I have 200 calories of fresh apple. It's about 2 apples, maybe a bit more than that, once you remove the stems and the seeds. You can see it's quite a bit of apple. You can eat quite a bit of that before you get to 200 calories. Bananas are also very calorically sparse. It takes about a half a pound of bananas to hit 200 calories, and by my calculation that's about 2.5 small bananas. Remember, that's the amount of energy it takes to boil 2 liters, or about a 2-liter bottle of soda's worth of water, from nearly ice to about a strong rolling boil. Alright, now we're talking about a food that's very calorically dense. These are peanut M&Ms, and if you're like me, at parties you eat these by the bowlful. They contain quite a bit of sugar and fat, and as you can see, only about, let's say 30-40 pieces before you even hit 200 calories, as opposed to a whole plate full like you saw with the apples. That means that they contain a lot of calories in a very small amount of food. Be careful of mindless snacking when it comes to these. Now for the all-American lunch. I'm talking about the double patty cheeseburger from a popular fast food restaurant with the order of fries and an order of Dr. Pepper. Now, each one of these plates plus the glass is 200 calories in and of itself, so the food you see here equals 600 calories, or about just shy of 1/3 of what the typical American diet should entail. The sandwich by itself, before being cut into quarters like that, is 810 calories, so only a quarter of the sandwich is 200 calories. The fries are pretty dense as well. Half an order of fries, which is what I have pictured here, will get you to your 200 calories. And then 16 ounces of Dr. Pepper will get you 200 calories as well. So if you're trying to watch your food intake, you would be best ordering a smaller sandwich and a smaller order of fries and going with water or a diet soda. These calculations took me literally minutes, using only my kitchen scale and some very simple algebra. Most food manufacturers are required to post the nutrition information on those foods so that anyone interested can make those same calculations. Likewise, all fast food restaurants post their information on the calorie counts for their menu items online and in their stores, so anyone who wishes to make healthy eating choices has the tools necessary to do so.